So let's talk about a guy who basically rewrote the book on pain. David Goggins. His life is this incredible blueprint for turning the absolute worst stuff you can imagine into pure power. We're going to dive into how he completely shattered what you and I might think of as our absolute limits.
Okay, and it all really boils down to this one powerful idea he's famous for. You've probably heard it. When your mind says you're done, you're only at 40% of your true limit. I mean, think about that. Your mind quits when you've still got a whopping 60% left in the tank. So where did he find that extra 60%? Well, that's the real story.
All right, so to really get the warrior, you first have to meet the broken kid he used to be. You see, his journey wasn't really about gaining strength. It was about clawing his way out of a lifetime of weakness and just pure suffering.
I mean, just look at this. The transformation it's almost unbelievable. On one side, you've got a kid who's nearly 300 pounds, abused, bullied constantly. And on the other, a Navy SEAL, an elite athlete. So the big question is, how on earth do you get from point A to point B? How do you even begin to bridge that kind of gap?
His early life was, to put it lightly, a total nightmare. We're talking an abusive father who made him work like a slave. When he and his mom finally got out, they ended up in a town where he was the only black kid, and he faced just relentless racism. On top of all that, he had learning disabilities, a stutter, and his weight just exploded to almost 300 pounds. His job? Spraying for cockroaches. I mean, that is rock bottom. And then, one night, just sitting there, everything changes. He's watching a TV documentary about Navy SEALs, the toughest of the tough, and he sees these guys just getting absolutely broken down, pushed way past their limits. And something just clicks. He isn't scared. He's inspired. He sees the ultimate challenge. He realizes that's the man he needs to become, to kill off the weak person he hates seeing in the mirror.
But there was a problem, a huge one. The Navy has really strict weight requirements. To even get a shot at enlisting, Goggins had to drop 106 pounds. And get this, in less than 3 months. This wasn't just the diet. This was his first all-out war against himself.
Okay, so losing all that weight, that was just buying the ticket to the show. The real test, the thing that would either make him or break him for good, was Navy SEAL training. Specifically, the infamous Hell Week.
And Hell Week is, well, exactly what it sounds like. It's 5.5 days of nonstop, 24/7 physical and mental torture. The whole point isn't even to make you stronger. It's designed to find your breaking point. It's designed to make you quit, period.
Just try to wrap your head around this for a second. You get 4 hours of sleep, not a night, in the entire week. For 5.5 days, you're always cold, always wet, always carrying something heavy. The goal isn't just to wear out your body, it's to absolutely shatter your mind with exhaustion.
And you know what? He didn't just waltz through it. His path was anything but a straight line. His first try at Hell Week, a bad injury forced him out. The second time, double pneumonia. I mean, at that point, 99.9% of people would just be done. But not Goggins. He came back for a third time, and he finally made it through, graduating with stress fractures and broken bone.
So you gotta ask, what could possibly push a human being through that level of punishment? It all came down to this one thought. He decided that the pain of Hell Week, as bad as it was nothing compared to the pain of living one more day as the old David Goggins. He literally made quitting a worse option than dying.
So he becomes a Navy SEAL. You'd think, okay, mission accomplished, right? Time for a break. Nope. For Goggins, that was just the starting line. He needed a new battlefield, a new way to test his mind, and he found it in the completely insane world of ultramarathons.
And his why this time was bigger than himself. After some of his SEAL buddies were killed in a helicopter crash, he was desperate to raise money for their families. He found out about this race called the Badwater 135, one of the toughest races on the planet. He decided he was going to run it, but first he had to qualify.
And this is where it gets just completely nuts. To qualify, he had to run 100 miles in under 24 hours. So he just Googles one, finds a race happening that weekend, and signs up with 3 days' notice. He wasn't even a runner.
As you can imagine, the race just tore him apart. By mile 50, his kidneys were literally shutting down. By mile 70, the bones in his feet were broken. He's bleeding, he's covered in blisters, his whole body is in total system failure. But he just kept going. He finished the whole 100 miles.
And after going through all of that, he didn't just do the Badwater 135. He became one of the top finishers. We're talking a 135-mile race through Death Valley, where temperatures hit 120 degrees Fahrenheit.
It was proof that this mental toughness he'd built wasn't just for the military. He could take it anywhere.
Okay, so through all this insane suffering, Goggins wasn't just surviving, he was building a toolkit. A set of mental strategies that, believe it or not, anyone can use. So let's break down these core ideas, shall we?
So here's the whole shebang. First, you've got the 40% rule. Then there's the cookie jar. Imagine a mental jar where you keep all your past wins, all the tough stuff you've already overcome. When you're suffering, you reach in and pull one out for fuel. Next up is callousing your mind. This is basically doing hard stuff on purpose every single day to build up your mental toughness. And finally, the accountability mirror. This one is raw. It's about looking in the mirror and being brutally, painfully honest with yourself about your weaknesses until you're forced to change.
So, okay, we've heard the story, we've seen the tools. But this all leads to a really important question, right? How does any of this apply to us, to you? What's your 40% wall, and what's on the other side of it?
And if you're still not convinced that our limits are mostly in our heads, listen to this. Years later, doctors find out that Goggins was born with a hole in his heart, a literal hole. He did everything, Hell Week, the ultramarathons, all of it, on a broken engine. If that isn't the ultimate proof that there is no finish line, I don't know what is. There's always more in the tank.
And this really gets to the core of his message. No one is coming. No one's going to swoop in and save you. If you want a better life, if you want to change, you have to become your own hero. The responsibility is 100% on you.
So that leads us to the final challenge, the question for you, right now. Look, it doesn't have to be running 100 miles. It can be as simple as getting up and the alarm goes off instead of hitting snooze, or making that phone call you've been avoiding. So, what hard thing are you going to do today? What are you going to do to callous your mind?
And let's just leave it with this thought. No matter what you've done or where you're at right now, you are not finished. Your past doesn't get to decide your future. In fact, if you take anything away from this, it's that you're probably just getting started.